A 452,000-pound machine screaming across a construction site at 30 miles per hour, carrying 50 tons of earth in its belly. The 1980s gave us the most powerful scrapers ever built, twin-engine monsters that moved entire mountains, shaping the highways and airports we use today. These mechanical titans could load, haul, and dump without stopping, revolutionizing how we built civilization itself. Number 1. Caterpillar 631E. Let's kick things off with an absolute legend, the Caterpillar 631E. Introduced in the 1980s, the 631E was the latest evolution of Caterpillar's highly successful scraper line, combining speed and mobility with substantial earth-moving power. This single-engine scraper was built for serious work. The 631E came equipped with a 4-stroke 3408 turbocharged V8 engine, generating 450 flywheel horsepower. But here's what made it special. It could propel a fully loaded scraper up to 30 miles per hour. That's highway speed with tons of earth in the bowl. These machines handled large capacities of topsoil more effectively than bulldozers and could move loads over considerable distances at speed. The real advantage was efficiency. It wasn't unusual to see multiple 631Es working together on the same site, often side by side in an offset pattern, working in a continuous loop, scraping material from one area and depositing it elsewhere. The 631E featured advanced hydraulics, a cushion hitch gooseneck, and CAT's direct injection fuel system with individual injection pumps. These weren't just powerful, they were sophisticated machines that could be operated by a single skilled operator, cutting labor costs dramatically compared to truck and excavator combinations. Number 2. Caterpillar 637E. Now, if the 631E was impressive, the Caterpillar 637E was downright intimidating. Soon after the release of the 631E, Caterpillar introduced the 637E, which featured a second motor situated behind the debris bowl, providing additional power, traction, and a slight increase in speed over its predecessor. This was a twin-engine powerhouse designed for the toughest conditions. The 637E featured dual Cat 3408 engines, giving it significantly more pulling power than single-engine models. The capacity remained similar to the 631E at around 31 cubic yards. But the extra engine made all the difference when working on grades or in difficult materials. The twin-engine configuration meant one engine drove the front wheels while another powered the rear scraper wheels. This gave the 637E exceptional traction and the ability to load itself in conditions where single-engine scrapers would bog down. The machine was particularly popular for large-scale projects where continuous productivity was essential. These machines were built like tanks. The scraper bowl used high-strength steel construction, and the entire frame was designed to withstand the enormous stresses of loading, hauling, and dumping cycle after cycle, year after year. Even 3 decades later, you can still find 637Es working on job sites, a testament to their durability. Number 3. Caterpillar 651E. Moving up in capacity, we have the Caterpillar 651E. This was one of CAT's larger scraper offerings from the era, and it was designed for truly massive earth-moving operations. The 651 series had been around since the early 1960s, but the E-series models from the 1980s represented refined, mature technology. The 651E measured approximately 53 feet long, 14 feet wide, and weighed around 134,760 pounds. These were substantial machines built for substantial work. What made the 651E special was its larger bowl capacity compared to the 631 series. This meant fewer trips to move the same amount of material, which translated directly into time and fuel savings on large projects. The machine featured the same advanced hydraulic systems as its smaller siblings, but scaled up for the heavier loads. The 651E was particularly popular on highway construction projects and large dam builds, where the ability to move massive volumes of material efficiently made the difference between profit and loss. Operators appreciated the machine's visibility from the cab. You could clearly see the cutting edge, which was critical for precise loading operations. Interestingly, some custom versions of the 651 were built as elevating scrapers. Custom builders created 651E elevating scraper units that remained in service for decades, with some carrying 50-ton payloads. Number 4. Caterpillar 657E. If you wanted the biggest cat scraper in the 1980s, you wanted the 657E. This was the heavyweight champion of Caterpillar's scraper lineup. The 657E measured over 53 feet long, about 14 feet wide, and tipped the scales at approximately 152,290 pounds empty. The capacity was enormous. We're talking about being able to move massive quantities of earth in a single pass. The 657 series had a legendary reputation among contractors. Some contractors ran large fleets of 657s. One operator in Pennsylvania reportedly kept 18 to 20 machines on hand just to ensure 10 were always running on major projects. That tells you both how productive these machines were and how demanding the work could be on equipment. These machines were twin-engine beasts with separate power plants driving the front and rear axles. The dual-engine setup was essential because of the immense weight these scrapers carried. The engines worked in a push-pull configuration, with one essentially pushing while the other pulled, maximizing traction and loading ability. The 657E was the machine of choice for massive infrastructure projects. Think airport construction, large dam projects, and major highway systems. When you absolutely needed to move mountains of earth and nothing smaller would cut it, you called in a fleet of 657s. Number 5. Terex TS24. Now, let's talk about a machine from a different manufacturer, but with equally impressive credentials, the Terex TS24. After General Motors was forced to spin off the Euclid truck line in 1968 due to antitrust regulations, they created the Terex brand, and the scraper line continued under this new name. The TS24 was a popular mid-size scraper that found favor with contractors throughout the 1980s. The TS24B featured a Detroit 12-volt 71 engine, producing 475 horsepower in the tractor unit, paired with a rear-mounted motor for additional power. The machine had a capacity of approximately 32 cubic yards heaped, making it competitive with similar-sized Caterpillar models. What made Terex scrapers distinctive was their Detroit diesel power. These two-stroke Screaming Jimmy engines had a unique sound, a high-pitched scream under load that was unmistakable on the job site. While some found the noise level challenging, others loved the raw power these engines delivered. The TS24 was popular among large scraper fleets alongside other models like the 657 and 631. The machine featured Allison powershift transmissions, providing smooth gear changes and excellent durability. Terex scrapers were known for being well-built and reliable when properly maintained. The TS24's 6-speed transmission gave operators good flexibility for different terrains and loads. These machines were workhorses on highway construction projects, subdivision developments, and mining operations throughout the night. Number 6. Terex TS14. The Terex TS14 was a smaller but incredibly popular scraper model. This twin-engine machine had a capacity of approximately 14 cubic yards, making it ideal for medium-sized projects where the massive TS24 would be overkill. The TS14B typically featured Detroit diesel engines, commonly a 671 in the front tractor and a 4071 in the rear scraper section. This dual-engine setup meant the machine could load itself without assistance from push tractors in many conditions, a significant operational advantage. The TS14 series had an interesting lineage. The TS14 traces its roots back to the Euclid scraper line, and when GM created Terex in 1968, the design continued under the new brand name. By the 1980s, these machines had decades of proven design refinement behind them. What contractors loved about the TS14 was its versatility. It was large enough to move significant material, but small enough to be maneuverable and economical to operate. The machine was popular for subdivision grading, smaller highway projects, and agricultural earthmoving applications. The TS14 featured an enclosed cab with ARPAS rollover protective structure, significantly improving operator safety and comfort compared to earlier open canopy designs. Air conditioning became available on later models, making all-day operation in hot climates much more bearable. Number 7. Terex TS18. Splitting the difference between the TS14 and TS24 was the Terex TS18. This model represented a sweet spot in capacity and power for many contractors. With approximately 18 cubic yards of capacity, the TS18 could handle substantial loads while maintaining good maneuverability. The machine typically used a larger engine configuration than the TS14, giving it the power to handle tougher materials and steeper grades. The TS18 was particularly popular for projects where continuous productivity mattered more than maximum capacity. The smaller bowl meant faster cycle times, less time filling, less time dumping, and quicker return to the cut area. On the right project, a well-run fleet of TS18s could outperform larger scrapers. One interesting feature of later TS18 models was the introduction of what Terex called keystone styling, a more modern appearance with improved aerodynamics and operator visibility. The redesigned cabs offered better sightlines and more comfortable working conditions. These machines were powered by Detroit diesel engines and Allison transmissions, the same proven drivetrain components used across the Terex scraper line. This parts commonality was a huge advantage for contractors running mixed fleets. Number 8. John Deere. Now let's talk green iron. The John Deere 862 series scrapers. These machines brought John Deere's agricultural engineering expertise to the construction world with impressive results. The John Deere 860 was an elevating scraper, typically featuring bowl capacities ranging from 11 to 21 cubic yards. The elevating design was significant. Instead of requiring a push tractor to load, these machines had a built-in conveyor system that lifted material into the bowl as the machine moved forward. This self-loading capability was a game changer for many operations. No push tractor meant one less machine to purchase, maintain, and fuel. It also meant greater operational flexibility. A single 862 could work independently, dramatically reducing the coordination requirements on a job site. The 862 series included models from the 1970s, evolving through iterations like the 862B. These machines featured John Deere's legendary powertrains, reliable engines paired with power-shift transmissions that delivered smooth, efficient operation. The elevator system was the heart of the machine. John Deere scraper systems featured innovations like autoload, which automated scraper functions to help even inexperienced operators achieve consistently full loads with fewer passes. Contractors appreciated the 862's durability and John Deere's extensive dealer network, which meant parts and service support were readily available. The machines were particularly popular for agricultural earthmoving, subdivision development, and medium-scale civil construction projects. Number 9. Caterpillar 641. Let's circle back to Caterpillar with a model that, while discontinued by released in 1962 alongside a new family of cat scrapers, the 641 was rated at 28 cubic yards struck and 38 cubic yards heaped capacity. It was powered by the Caterpillar D346 engine, a 60-degree V8 turbocharged diesel rated at 450 horsepower at 1900 RPM. What made the 641 special was its advanced design for the era. The machine featured a 9-speed Caterpillar full power-shift planetary transmission with a downshift inhibitor to prevent engine overspeeding. In top gear, the 641 could travel at almost 30 miles per hour, impressive for such a large machine. The hydraulic systems were cutting edge for the time. Everything was hydraulically operated with no cables, drawing on research from earlier scraper models. The machine used air-operated shoe-type brakes, supplemented by a hydraulic retarder to extend brake shoe life. Although not as popular as the 631 or larger 651, the 641 was sold in substantial numbers and was particularly successful in Europe. Many of these machines continued working well into the 1980s, testament to their robust construction and reliability. Number 10. Euclid Terex S32. For our final machine, let's look at the Euclid S32, which became the Terex S32 after GM created the Terex brand in 19. This single-engine open-bowl scraper represented solid, proven technology. This S32 was designed as a versatile mid-capacity scraper suitable for a wide range of applications. These machines typically relied on push tractors for loading assistance, particularly in harder materials. While this required an additional piece of equipment, it also meant the scraper itself could be simpler and more reliable. The S32 used similar powertrain components to other Terex scrapers, typically a Detroit diesel engine paired with an Allison transmission. This parts commonality made fleet maintenance more efficient and reduced the spare parts inventory contractors needed to keep on hand. One interesting aspect of the S32 was its role in Terex's broader scraper lineup. The same tractor unit was used for different applications. For example, the S32 tractor was paired with different bowl designs to create the S35E elevating scraper, demonstrating the modular approach Terex used in their designs. These machines were workhorses on construction sites throughout the 1980s. They weren't flashy, they weren't the biggest, but they were reliable, economical, and got the job done day after day. For many contractors, that dependability was worth more than having the latest features or maximum capacity. If you've operated any of these machines or have stories about them, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your experiences with these iron giants. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into 1980s earth-moving equipment, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more construction equipment history and technology content. Thanks for watching. And remember, these machines didn't just move Earth, they moved civilization forward.